Rumors and Legends is a reimagination of the classic mystery deduction game. Your objective is to solve the mysterious disappearance of Professor Daffel, the world's leading researcher of the Royal Order of Cryptozoology. Be the first to solve the mystery and win the game. You play one of 6 characters appointed to unravel this mystery. Rumors and Legends stars a cast of creepy creatures and cryptids, Sasquatch, Loch Ness Monster, Alien, and more. Players travel to legendary locations like the Himalayas and Roswell, New Mexico, but beware, you're in constant peril of getting lost in the Bermuda Triangle. Players investigate a variety of bizarre ways that poor Professor Daffel may have disappeared. Rumors and Legends is a light game that can be learned in 15 minutes and takes around an hour to play. You'll find the mechanics comfortably familiar if you've played the usual suspects of mystery games before, but a host of new twists and turns to make the game feel unique, modern, and thematically interesting. So let's investigate further. Game setup. Let's get started. We'll go through the individual components as we set up the game. Set the board. Lay out the board and place the dice nearby. Place a door figurine on each of the 2 door positions. Place the 6 incident tokens on the designated incident positions. Prep your characters. Each player chooses a character. There are 6 characters you may choose from: the Explorer, the Archaeologist, the Colonel, the Bounty Hunter, the Biologist, the Detective. Choose a character notebook and the creature mini that corresponds with their character. Note, inside there is a symbol that matches your character's location and portal. Place creatures on the portal symbol that corresponds with your character's creature. This is the starting position for each player. Place the remaining creatures on the creature positions in the upper left corner of the board. For example, if there are 4 players, there will be 2 remaining creatures. Supply each player with a pencil and a notepad sheet, and place the notepad sheets inside the character notebooks. Notepad sheets are used to mark off the legend cards as you eliminate them as potential evidence. Be sure to protect your case by concealing your notebook from other players. Deal the cards. Shuffle the rumor cards and place them in the rumor card deck position. Shuffle and divide the legend cards into 3 sets: creature cards, incident cards, location cards. See the Legends page for additional reference. While keeping the cards face down, have a player choose 1 card from each of these 3 sets and place them secretly in the top secret envelope. Note, it's important no one sees these cards as they contain the solution to the game. Be careful not to reveal any cards as you shuffle and place them in the envelope. Place the top secret envelope on the board in the designated position. Shuffle the remaining legend cards from the 3 sets back together and distribute them face down to the players as follows. 3 players. Each player receives 5 cards. 4 players. Each player receives 3 cards. 3 cards remain. 5 players. Each player receives 3 cards. 6 players. Each player receives 2 cards. 3 cards remain. Place any remaining cards face up in front of the board. How to play. Player order. Have 1 player roll the symbol die to determine who goes first. The player whose symbol is rolled first takes the first turn. Re-roll the die until a player's character symbol is rolled. This first player takes their turn, and then the player to their left takes their turn. Continue in this order with all players. After the last player has had their turn, it is the end of the round. Continue back to the first player. On your turn. On your turn, roll the dice. If you have any rumor cards in your possession, you may choose to play a rumor card before or after rolling the dice. Your dice roll will determine these available actions. We'll discuss these actions in more detail after reviewing the dice combinations. Rules for moving. You may move as many hexes as determined by your roll. You do not have to move all hexes from your roll. You may move through a space occupied by another player but only one player can be on the same space at a time. When you enter a location through a location entrance, stop moving. If you are in a location at the end of one turn, you must leave that location on your next turn. You may not re-enter the same location on the same turn. You cannot pass through a space that is occupied by a door. If a door blocks a location entrance, you cannot enter that location through that entrance. Portals allow you to jump to a location with a corresponding location symbol. After you jump to that location, you may make a hypothesis or play any rumor cards in your possession. Rumor cards. If you roll a rumor symbol, draw the top rumor card from the rumor card deck. Play your other die action next if the rumor card you draw does not end your turn. If you roll 2 rumor symbols, draw 1 rumor card from the rumor deck at a time. Draw the second rumor card if the first one does not end your turn. Read each rumor card you draw aloud and play its instructions. When you're done with the rumor cards, you may place them in the rumor card discard stack. Bermuda Triangle. When you are sent to the Bermuda Triangle, you must move to its location and end your turn immediately. If you are starting your turn from the Bermuda Triangle, then you may roll the portal die and start from the portal you roll. Roll the dice to continue your turn. Choose to state your theory. Doors. When you roll the door symbol, you may move the door to any open space on the board. You cannot move a door into a location or portal, but you can move it to a space to block the passageway to a location or portal. You may also move the door back to its door position. If you roll a door symbol on one die and ×2 on the other, you may move both doors. Make a hypothesis. If you move to a location other than the Bermuda Triangle, you can make a hypothesis of Professor Daffle's disappearance. Choose your creature, choose your incident, use your current location. Move your chosen legend mini and incident token into your current location. Example: you enter the Canadian Rockies location. Move the legend and incident tokens you want to hypothesize into the room you're in. Make your hypothesis. Example: I believe it was the mummy with an explosion in the Canadian Rockies. The other players must now reveal whether or not your hypothesis was correct, starting with the player to your left. If they have one of the legend cards you chose, they show it to you and only you. If they have more than one of the cards, they can choose which one to show you. Check this card off of your notepad sheet. This proves the card is not in the envelope. Your turn is now over. If the player to your left does not have any of the legend cards you suggested, the player to their left must show a card if they have one. Keep going until a player shows you a card, or until all players have passed because they have none of the cards you suggested. Your turn is now over unless you choose to state your theory. State your theory. On your turn, if you are certain you have solved the case, then move directly to the Bermuda Triangle instead of rolling the dice. From there, you can state your theory by naming the creature, incident, and location you believe to be the solution to the game. Example: I theorize the one responsible for Professor Daffle's disappearance is the Yeti with a time warp in the Canadian Rockies. Next, take a secret look at the cards inside of the envelope to see if you are correct. Winning the game. If you discover all 3 cards you have named in the envelope after making your theory, then congratulations, you have won the game. Share the cards with the other players and celebrate your victory. Warning: if your theory was incorrect, then secretly return the 3 cards to the envelope. Be sure that no other players can see the cards. After that, you continue to play. However, you cannot make any more moves in the game, and you cannot win the game. You must continue to show legend cards to other players when asked. Advanced rules. Random passport cards. Shuffle the blue passport cards and give 1 card to each player. Place the other cards away. Each player keeps their card and places it face up to reveal their passport ability. After use, turn the card over. Each player takes their assigned card from the maroon passport cards. Place the other cards away. Each player keeps their card and places it face up to reveal their passport ability. After use, turn the card over. Clock rules. After determining which player goes first to take a turn, determine which player goes last. This player is designated the timekeeper and is responsible for keeping up with advancing the clock each round of play. Determine what time to start the clock based on the number of players. 3 players, 1 o'clock. 4 players, 2 o'clock. 5 players, 3 o'clock. 6 players, 4 o'clock. Advanced players may choose to move the clock forward an extra 2 hours to make the game more competitive. For example, 4 players would start at 4 o'clock. For each round of play, advance the clock forward 1 hour. When the clock reaches 12 o'clock, this is the last round of play. After each player's turn, they are sent to the Bermuda Triangle if they do not solve the game. If no player solves the mystery in the last round, the game ends and no player wins. Play again. Bermuda Triangle card. The Bermuda Triangle card may be added to the legend card deck. If it is used, then the number of cards for each player receives is modified. Place the remaining cards face up in front of the board. The player who is dealt this card may play it to hide a card that another player has asked to be revealed. The Bermuda Triangle card may be used once per game. After this card is played, it is placed face up in front of the player. Optional. The player asking for a card to be revealed is sent to the Bermuda Triangle and ends their turn. Revolving doors. At the beginning of the game, roll the portal die for each door. Place each door at the location entrance rolled. Re-roll any duplicates. At the end of each round, roll the portal die to move the doors to new locations. Re-roll any duplicates. If the roll is in the same location that the door is already on, keep the door where it is. If a player's mini is blocking the location entrance where the door would be moved, place that door into one of the door positions for this turn. Thanks for listening. We hope you enjoy Rumors and Legends.